All right, welcome back to the Everybody Podcast. Today we have Madison Sims. Madison Sims, what do we need to know about you?
What do you need to know about me? There's a lot to know about me. I am a senior, communications media major. Okay. I like TikTok. I like making videos. I like making people laugh. Love music. I'd say I'm funny. I think that's my greatest attribute.
Why do you say you're funny?
I just know I am. It's not really like something that it's not up for debate. I just know.
Oh, really?
Really?
Crack a joke. Say something funny.
Oh no, I can't crack a joke. Like it's just natural. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a Kevin Hart. I'm just like a unintentionally funny type of.
So would you ever like consider acting?
You know what? When I was in elementary school, that's all I wanted to do. So like, I went to this Christian elementary school. So around Christmas time, we had a Christmas play.
Yeah.
And I remember in 5th grade, I auditioned for a smaller role because I knew I wanted to be in the play, and it was also like a musical.
Yeah.
So I like to sing as well. I thought I was going to be China.
Oh, can you sing?
2.0.
Can you sing?
You want me to sing right now?
Yeah. You sing. I'm a sing. Sing that.
No. I can't do that for y'all. Not for free.
No.
Not for free.
Is it good?
If I win the rock paper scissors, you're gonna sing
in all
it.
seriousness though, like I think I can sing.
If I win the rock paper scissors, you're gonna sing.
Oh, probably not.
What your roommate think when you be singing?
I mean, she be singing too, so I don't.
It's so quiet in there.
Does she know how to sing?
Yeah, she can sing.
Oh,
she can sing.
Can she sing better than you?
I think we both can sing.
Then just prove it.
I can't prove that for free. Like that's like a
give you
specialty. I'm gonna need a little more than $1. That's a professional. You know what I'm saying?
20 cents.
We're trying to help you career. You get me?
Does he think I'm a bottom of the barrel? $2 really for me to sing? Anyways, back to the acting.
Okay.
So I auditioned for the role, like a small role. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't. I didn't have that many lines. Ended up getting the main role, like the lead role.
Okay.
So I was feeling myself and everything, memorizing my lines. We have it on DVD at home. Haven't watched it in a while, but I know I did a great job. Like I definitely ate my performance. Okay. Yeah. So I used to ask my mom, like, can I act at the Chattanooga Theater Center because that's our like local theater company at home. She was like, yeah, when summer comes around, we'll do it. We never did it. I just knew I was going to be famous for acting. But as I mentioned, I'm a communications media student. So like I'm still finding my way in front of the camera regardless. So.
Yeah. You should push you.
Would you still chase it though?
If the opportunity presented itself, yes. Yeah. Okay. I was in my acting bag yesterday because I'm in a film class and I had to act a little bit. So.
Do you do improv?
You want me to sing? You want me to do improv? It's not my forte. I need a script.
Just a question.
You can come up with a script.
If you give me a script, I can.
Okay, let's think about a role. What's the name? Acrimony. You know that one scene where no, just come up with something along those lines.
Why you want me to? Can y'all give me a script?
A script, an actual script.
I'm not that much into my acting bag. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah.
We gonna do it another day. We're gonna have you another day.
Right.
Yeah, got you. Okay. So aside that, what do you want to do though with the communications major?
Yeah. So I actually just got a phone call today confirming that I got an internship that I applied for on Monday. So yeah, thank you. I've always wanted to be a reporter or an anchor, and so I dabbled in that a little bit with the school. So I interned with the school, and I was doing a little bit of that. I had a professional radio gig in the summer of 21, and that was really fun. I like radio more than I do reporting because you can be more of your authentic self.
Could you do your radio voice or your reporter voice?
Yeah, so whenever I can do that for
do
you.
it. I do it.
So when I get on the radio, I would say, "What's up, you guys? It's your girl Sims. You're listening to WJAB TV." Well, that's how it would be if I was like reporting for the school. But the station at home is called WJTT, so I would say, "You're listening to WJTT, Power 94, Groove 93, or something like that." Yeah. So, I would hop into my radio voice from time to time. Not too much.
So what was the show about?
Not too much. Essentially, so when I say it's a show, like in radio, when you hear the person saying the name of the song or like telling you what the weather's going to be like or telling you about a promotional deal. So like we had this thing where they would give away like $100 every Friday. And so I would promote something like that. That's a show. So that would run from like 12 to 4 o'clock on Saturdays. So I would tell people to tune into my show because in between the breaks, you would hear my voice. So it's not like I was really talking about something in particular, but that was my time slot. So that was my show. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Did they have an official name, like the something hour or something like that?
Some people do, but because I was only there for like a seasonal time, I was only there during the summer. The full-time people or the people that are still working part-time but that are there all year round, they have names, but mine didn't have a name. So it was tough, but I still had my little 10 minutes of fame, so it was worth it.
So would you, what's the name? If you had a show idea, if you like, let's say you were still at that same internship, right? And your boss was like, "Hey, yo, Sims, come here, let me talk to you real quick. So we're trying to put a new show in there. You have any ideas? What would your response be?"
About a name for my show or just a show in general?
Just like a show concept. You can have the name.
Concept.
You can have the name. You can have everything. What would you?
I would probably have a show about dating in this generation because a lot of people struggle with that, and I would call it.
Just don't say something cheeky. It's about to cringe.
Relationships with Sims. My name has to be in it because if I'm the one talking, people need to know it's me. That's like so vanilla and so basic, but yeah, ships with Sims.
That makes more sense. You
You
better write that down. Forget.
Don't take that.
I mean,
You never
it's
know.
technically on our show.
Right, so it's our IP, you know.
I'll keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
So what would it be about? What would you do? How would the
Yeah,
concept look?
I would probably have some of my homegirls come on there and talk with me because those are the people that I'm discussing relationships with, giving relationship advice to, getting relationship advice from. And we would just kind of talk about everything, like before you're dating someone, the talking stages, red flags, green flags, what to do when you're disappointed in your relationship, how to know when to take things further, how to set up boundaries. Because we talk about these things a lot, and like TikTok is great for that because you can find anything on TikTok. Like everyone's giving unsolicited relationship advice on TikTok, but you know, just a very intimate feel, hearing it from somebody that knows what they're talking about. Because I've been in a relationship for a minute, and then I would like to have some homegirls that maybe haven't been in relationships just to get different perspectives. So I think something like that would be nice for the girls.
Okay.
You know?
So it's
And the
giving.
guys.
It's giving more. Well, she just said she's sexist, but.
No, I said and the guys. I said and the guys. It's all inclusive.
So, would you, what's the name? It's giving more of like a podcast type vibe.
It is giving a podcast, yeah. Not so much like a radio slot, you know?
So would you have a podcast then?
I most definitely would have a podcast. A professor of mine in the department here actually told me that I should start a podcast just because when you're trying to break into the communications field, there are so many different avenues to go down. Radio, TV, film, production. Like there are so many different things that you can do. And in order to get your name out there, you kind of have to start building up a rapport with people. And in order for people to know who you are, you've got to have something going on. So whether that's a YouTube, a radio, podcast, everybody's doing podcasts. Everybody's not doing a podcast well, though. You got to do something that is different and have people on there talking about things that are relevant and things that make sense and things that people can relate to.
Yeah.
So I definitely would do a podcast. I would just need somebody to hop on there and talk to me.
Really?
Because people do solo podcasts, you know.
Yeah.
They just talk about stuff. I've listened to those myself, but I would want something real good. Something really good.
Like what? Something besides relationships?
Yeah, most definitely. It wouldn't just be a relationship podcast. It would be a lifestyle podcast. Like, talking about your faith, talking about school, careers. I'm talking about everything. Everything under the sun. And then some. We'll see. I might start my own podcast.
Stay tuned. You heard it first. But you mentioned you like TikTok though, and have you? But unfortunately, it might get banned. So what's your thought on like the old TikTok ban shebang?
So I was watching that trial on TikTok. So that tells you something right there. I swear I was watching that on TikTok.
We are doomed.
We're all doomed. Yeah, I was not watching it on TV. I was watching it on the platform that might get banned. I love TikTok. With any social media, I think they all have a tendency to die down a little bit. I don't think it's gonna get banned because we had the same conversation in 2021, right? And that was like really when I was going crazy on TikTok, and I thought, okay, like we're off and go. Like so many creators were hopping on live saying their goodbyes. It's 2 years later, we're still here. So it takes a long time for things like that to actually get put into motion and set in stone.
Yeah.
So if it is going somewhere, I don't really see that being in the foreseeable future. But if they do away with it, I don't know what I'm going to do because that's where I get all my information. I spend a lot of my time up. It's true. That's where I get my information. I don't even turn on the TV anymore.
Wow.
And I said I want to be a reporter. That's a little scary. I know. But
Right.
I love TikTok. That's my...
What's happening with
That's my
TikTok?
thing.
I actually don't know.
So
Both of them.
TikTok is owned by the Chinese.
Yeah,
right?
ByteDance.
Yeah, and so we've been having some issues with the Chinese government. The issue of spying and having too much information, which every social media platform collects data on the users. So I don't really know what the real issue is because other companies aren't getting sued for that. But maybe it's an issue of TikTok has too much information. Do you know?
Yeah, so I think the issue is, like you mentioned, every social media collects data, but the issue with TikTok is because it's a Chinese company,
Right.
and they have like a lot of influence in the US, and also it's like they are kind of, because the way China is sort of set up, the government kind of has control over everything.
Right.
So no sort of private company is really private, so to say,
Right.
because the government has a hand in everything. So because TikTok collects so much data, like literally TikTok, if you just scroll, they already know what you're like.
Yeah.
They know everything about you. And then the US are kind of like, wait, they have all my people's information. They
Pump
can
the brakes.
exactly, they can make it propaganda. They can do this and that and that. So that's kind of where a lot of politicians are coming from.
Right.
And now, like, if we're being realistic, platforms like Instagram can also whip up propagandas. But it is just because it's owned by China, that's the big deal. But now there are some like solutions kind of keep TikTok alive by, you know, selling, you know, TikTok to like a US company. So like the US division of TikTok is no longer within sort of China control. But the Chinese government are kind of like, nah, why you don't have to do that, like stop this stuff.
Right.
And like a lot of, you know, US companies are kind of like staying away. So when it comes to like political stuff, a lot of private corporations don't really like to like meddle in there because it could get messy. So that's kind of where the whole dilemma is. And then politicians are like, well, I'm just gonna ban it. And if you all know, like, you know, US politicians, they can be a bit extra.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that thing is like, oh, democracy, you know, put America first type of initiative.
Right.
So that's kind of why it's like this. And historically, like a lot of politicians never like tech companies for one reason or the other. But that's kind of like the main gist about it.
I see.
Yeah. And if you look at like the whole Restrict Act stuff, like the stuff that they want to use to ban, it's even beyond TikTok. That's even the scary part that a lot of people don't know.
What else?
Right.
It's kind of like they also want to like control your, like the whole privacy data stuff. It's beyond just buying TikTok. It's kind of like, okay, now we kind of have access to like your data, and like if we feel like it's wrong or not aligned, they can easily like shut you down or whatever. So it's a whole like shebang on the whole Restrict Act. So I advise you guys like read more about in depth. So that's why a lot of people are saying like TikTok is kind of just like the face for it. Just like with every bill, like I don't know if you guys are into politics, like every bill that's passed, like there are a little bit of small like things that are not really good, but just to, like make people like say, oh, that's a good bill, but underneath it there's some extra fluff that's like might not appeal to some certain demographics and whatnot.
Right.
But that's just politics though. But yeah, yeah, it's really fucked up.
Let me say something. If they get rid of TikTok, I'm going to be very upset. I'm not going to be the only one. Because that's stopping so many people bad. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Everybody is making money off of TikTok.
Tracked.
Everyone. Whether you have 10K followers or 1 million. That's the good thing about it. And that's why they have so much traction because they have this thing called, it's UGC. Well, I brought it up and I don't even know what it stands for. But basically, like, they're really small influencers. Really small. Oh no, it's user-generated content. I think that's what it stands for. Lord, I hope that's right because I just said it on the podcast. Anyways, you can make thousands of dollars a month and you don't even have to have 10K followers. So that speaks volumes about the direction that social media is going and how it can amplify so many different voices, the voices of marginalized people, but also get money in people's pockets from home. So I don't think it's going anywhere. And if it does, people are just going to transition to like reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which they're already doing now. So
I mean, that's true, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, a lot of politicians come with this stance, like, TikTok is influencing the way, like, our generation thinks. One,
it is
kind of like poor attention span, because it's TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. When I start watching TikTok, like, my attention span is like, oh my god, why is this video 10 minutes long?
No, literally. And I used to watch 40 minute to an hour long YouTube videos. There is one YouTuber that I can watch, and her videos are typically over an hour. Only one. I don't go to YouTube for tutorials. I'll look it up on TikTok.
Yeah.
My attention span is... There is no attention span because of TikTok. And I've only been on it for, almost 3 years. That's a problem. Like, it...
So you see...
I mean, I see the point.
But aside from even the attention span, a lot of people also say, like, there's this stats that, what came out, that a lot of our generation, the generation to come, nobody wants to be a doctor, nobody wants to be an astronaut. The first job is like, I want to be a creator.
Yeah, I want to be a content creator.
And then, I mean, that's not right though. I mean, you could say it's right, but it seems like it's not right. Because if you look at, like, China, Russia, like, they want to be like astronaut, doctors and everything. So it's like, if
we're slacking. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're slacking. Okay. All right. I mean, it's true, because that's a part of my job description, being a content creator. And so when I apply for certain positions, that's what I'm putting on. That's what's on my resume. Like, I have 3 jobs that I've done where my main job is being a content curator.
But that's your job though. I'm just saying, like, in general, for the whole US population. If 40% of the next generation would be content creator.
What are we gonna do? Like, and they make jokes on TikTok about how, like, so many young people are getting their information, like, doctors, they're using Chegg, like, they're using Quizlet, they're using Socratic, like, nobody's gonna know what they're doing. They're getting their information from TikTok.
We're so fucking
videos, like, we're doing, like, come on. We're
just witnessing the crumble of the USA live in the flesh.
So do you guys think it's just the US?
In terms of what?
In terms of, like, attention span, and in terms of, like, losing interest in, like, actual education?
I think the US is the main one, because the US, from my understanding, the foundation of the US has always been on, like, freedom and everything. But in other countries, they are restricting it. Like in India, like, there's some sort of restriction, or like,
true.
Oh, you cannot see this content, or like, if you're at this certain age, this is what you're exposed to. They work with the division of TikTok and social media to make those sort of restriction. But because the way the way the US is set up, it's kind of like, once you do that, it's a riot. So it's really hard to, like, enforce those sort of things in the US because of how that's just the constitution and value of US, point blank. So making all those sort of changes,
it's gonna be tough. But I do think that we are most impacted by it. I think we're the group that is most enthralled with this app and the culture of, like, everything needs to be done fast, quick. If you can't tell me something in 5 seconds, I've lost interest. And I know I'm affected by it, because, like I said, I can't even watch a 5-minute YouTube video. So what are we gonna do?
I don't know. You tell me.
Y'all are the ones doing your big one. I am one of them. I'm a content creator, so I really can't talk.
Do you guys think there's any upside to, like, information getting shorter? Like,
definitely.
If you can give me something in 10 seconds that would have taken me 2 hours to learn, is that really a bad thing?
No,
it's not.
I don't think anybody would disagree.
I think it's just a balance thing.
Yeah.
It's a balance thing.
So balance in, like, we don't want it to go into, like, different areas of our life, or, like, because sometimes I see where short attention span could be a bad thing. Let's say I'm having a conversation with you, and next thing you're like, what were we talking about? That's not gonna be good, right?
Right.
Yeah, I see where that could be a bad thing, but then I'm like, if I want to see maybe how to cook jollof rice, and there's a video that is like 2 minute long, and there's a video that's like 20 minutes long. I'm like,
2 minutes.
I'm watching that.
yeah, I'm like,
This is
why is
telling me
it?
what I need to know, just like this.
Why do
So-
I need to spend 20 minutes on that video?
Mm-mm.
So I'm trying to see, like, let's look at the pros, let's look at the cons, and let's see which one is better, though. What do you guys
You
think?
go first.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I think if you can teach me something quicker than I originally would have been able to have been taught it, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But like you said, in the case that like I need to seriously be thorough and take my time, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch a full video. But in terms of attention span, like there are certain things that I used to be able to do that I have a really difficult time doing. For example, homework. Because of all of this super fast, quick videos, everything is instantaneous, I have a very difficult time focusing on my homework for more than like 15 minutes. So...
Do you do dopamine detox? Do you like dopamine detox? Like just social media detox?
Yeah.
They don't work? Did they help out?
No.
Oh, they usually work.
No. Not for... Did they work for you?
Yeah, they work for me.
Oh.
Dang.
Trying to see what that'd be like.
You ruined.
What? They're cracking up. They're cracking up, but I'm being real. I'm being real.
Let me say it.
I'm being real. So my mom actually
I'm so glad you're working as a reporter. I would want you to be with my doctor.
Look, yeah, it is a good thing that I'm choosing the profession that I'm
Good.
choosing because, baby, y'all would be messed up. But there are other people out there that are pursuing those careers. Or just like me, so you still should be a little bit concerned.
What?
My mom got me these herbal pills, right, for anxiety and for like focus because I'm convinced I have ADHD.
What's it called?
Suniathin. I think you might want to look it up because I think I'm saying it wrong.
What's it? Like,
You're asking the wrong question because I don't know. I'll just take them.
Does it work?
Yeah. That's the point that we were getting to. I do think it's like Suniathin. Suneathine.
SUNE.
That could be wrong, but you'll find it because it's somewhere in that ballpark. I think they work well. So that's helping me with the whole like focus thing. Like I said, it could be the TikTok generation. It could be the fact that I really do have ADHD. I probably should get tested. I've been saying I'm going to get tested for like a year now. So maybe the next time I'm on here, we will have an update. But I would suggest any viewer that's struggling with either anxiety or focus, try those pills out. They're herbal. You don't have to get a prescription.
By the way, we are not medical professions.
No, we're not medical professionals. I think we've already established that I'm not a medical professional, and I have no business in that profession. But, you know, if y'all have any questions,
Don't reach out.
you probably don't want to reach out, but I am here. So.
Okay, what do you think about the pros and the cons?
Personally, because I think it's a balance, like I mentioned. So it's kind of like, damn, the host calling you, bro. You got the ladies on deck.
The pros and the cons.
Yes.
Nah, yeah, the pros and the cons. I think it'd be nice to kind of get a short form video content of like, okay, how do you make jollof fries?
Right.
But then also it'd be nice to have like a version of like, okay, what's the history of this cuisine, or like, you know, what's the science behind this? Like, oh, if you mix this fat with like this salt,
It's circumstantial. Too.
exactly. So it should be like a transitional sort of thing. So from like, it should be like from a short form video content style to like, let's say a long form article or video based on whatever your learning style is. So that way you're getting the whole like circle, so to say, or you're getting the whole experience, and you're not just like scroll.
You have options. If you want to see that 5-second video, you can watch the 5-second video. But if you need a more in-depth,
exactly,
super follow along, I need all of the instructions.
Exactly.
Then you have that at your disposal as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the good thing about social media, because neither of those types of videos, articles, whatever it may be, they're not going anywhere. So that's the upside of it.
So do you guys think, say, most of the things we're going to be looking for, right? Most of the things we look for daily are more of short form content.
For me, yes.
Yeah.
So because like the other day I was watching a makeup video. Well, okay, I'm gonna take this back. I'm a beginner at makeup, so I need the more in-depth routines. But like I said, the attention span is not there. So maybe like a 2 minute. That's why I like reels. But TikTok also has those like 3 minute long videos.
Yeah,
so
they
that
introduced
works
that.
too. The longer end of the videos to show me step by step what you're doing. That's perfect for me because I'm a beginner.
Yeah.
If I were a pro and I was just looking into a new style of makeup, a super quick video would be more beneficial. So, like I said, I just think it's super circumstantial.
So, do you think, say for instance, because your makeup tutorial video is a reel, and maybe your cooking video is a reel, and then maybe for your workouts, your checking out form is a reel, since everything is coming out as short form content, do you think that pans out to different areas of our lives? So, say for instance, I just want to get this degree. Why can't I get this degree in 3 months instead of 4 years? Oh, I just want to get what's the thing I was thinking about? See, short for content. You see what I'm saying? So, do you think that pans out to other areas of our lives? Oh yeah, like dating. That's what I was getting to. So like dating.
I just want the ring.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So somebody's like, okay, yeah. Somebody just turned 16 and is like, I should be married now. You know?
Yo,
do you
what?
think that pans out to every like a different area of our life?
You go first.
I'm glad he brought that up because yes, good things take time, and I think that we're losing sight of that because of this like. You can get everything at the snap of a finger type of generation or era that we're living in. Great things take time. They just do. And so when it comes to a degree, yeah, there are accelerated programs and then there are your full-term or longer programs. Which one is going to be better for you? Probably not the accelerated, the longer program, for me at least. I want to take my time to make sure that I know everything that I need to know. It's not so much about getting out quick. Yeah. So for school, like, I've been talking about this because I'm going back to grad school. I appreciate the structure of school. The duration doesn't matter to me because I understand that in order to get what I want to get, which is a degree, but more so the practical experience, it's going to take time. So that's not something I'm trying to rush. Relationships. You like somebody, right? And then it's like, okay, this isn't moving fast enough. We need to be dating. So then you're dating. Well, we've been dating for a year. It's time to be married. Good things take time. So I definitely think, especially with social media use, like you see people talking about like, I'm not going to be a girlfriend for this long. I'm not going to be a boyfriend for that long. Like we're finna lock in and get married. Great things take time. So.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's in the world of like everything fast, it's made us like, lose track of that instant gratification. It's kind of like, oh, I gotta make my money now, I gotta make this and this now and everything. But I think there was a podcast article I read about that. Like everybody in this generation, that's why I would say like the US is really bad in that sense, because everything in the US is like, you guys get the first technology, get everything. But in other countries, even though they have technology available, they don't get that sort of instant stuff. And that's just how like everything has been. And to your point, it's like we've lost track of that sense of time and like things taking time. But I think those are still like you can always like, learn and like rebuild and everything. But again, social media is not really helping with that sense. And also with the sense like, because we can see everybody's life, that like you only see just a glimpse of that person's life. And you're like, wow.
That's it.
I wonder, like, especially in a relationship, some people might see this couple posting like this on an island, but you don't know what's happening behind the scene. And then everyone's like, oh my.
And so I think social media has really pushed this narrative that, like, everybody's living nice, everybody's accomplishing their goals like this, and if you're not here by such and such age, if you don't have X amount of money in your bank account by X, Y, and Z age, then you're not doing good enough. I have, like, that has affected me a lot. So last semester, I spent a lot of time just, like, rethinking and trying to train myself to understand that your timeline is not what Instagram sees, right? So it's very easy to put on a front for social media, and we literally all do it. We put our best version of ourselves on the front line for everybody to see, because who wants to see the messy parts? Who wants to see the parts that take time, dedication, grit, tears, frustration? Nobody wants to see that, and nobody wants to talk about it either. Our generation just has a bad habit of, I should stop saying our generation. A lot of people that are users of social media have a bad habit of just thinking that things are supposed to happen on a certain timeline, and it just doesn't work that way. And so for me, I've been, taking some steps back. If you don't get this job by this age, you're still successful, because as long as I'm progressing, I'm successful. The timeline is not so much the goal. It's just as long as I get there. So, yeah, social media has messed that up for a lot of people.
What's your own take though?
Yeah, I see the side effects, but at the same time, because I see the side effects, but at the same time I see a lot of the benefits. So just like also personal experience, I like social media because of what it has to offer. A lot of things I've learned how to do was because of social media.
True.
The whole podcast setup, where to get this, how to start a camera, how to do the audio, was all because of social media.
Right.
So I see that too. And then there have been times where I'm like, why am I comparing myself to this person? So a lot of times when I try to stay off social media, I'm like, okay, now I'm missing off the actual content that I need. Because all the things about what's the name, podcasting, where we find out what can make our audio better. I always found those in reels. But then at the same time, I'm like having a good day, and then next thing, for some reason, I see my ex's story. I'm like, damn, she moved on. That's crazy. Now my whole day's ruined. And I'm like, damn, I fumbled that back. Oh no, she fumbled this back. So things like that, I see it, but I'm like, is there really a skill where like this is better, this is not better, or you're just like, it is what it is, man, just take it?
There's some balance. It is good and it is bad equally. So like you said, there's so many different things that we can learn from social media, so many different people that we can meet. The networking opportunities through social media are limitless. I mean, limitless, and I think we all know that. But the comparison is the thief of joy. And a lot of people's joy and happiness is, I don't want to say being stolen, because that's something that you can control. It's a mental thing, right? You have to disengage from social media. Our phones are always on us. Our laptops are always near us. Like, there's always some sort of electronic device that has social media near, but you got to disengage and be in touch with reality. What you see on that screen is not, like you said, what's happening behind closed doors. So I can agree with what you're saying. I think that the pros outweigh the cons, but the comparison thing, social media has people's mind messed up. They think they're things that they are not. And you got to be real with yourself.
True.
So another thing about having both good and bad, what do you guys think about appearances? So appearances in the sense of maybe yourself, how you come off, but also appearances on social media. Say, for instance, we know that, okay, these people might not have the best relationship. This person might not actually own that car. But do you think,
lucky babies.
but do you think that appearance still matters, regardless of whether it's true or not?
I think people do a lot of capping for the internet. So, of course, appearance is important, right? Nobody wants to look bad, especially on social media. Because when you can craft the way that you look, the person that you are, when you can make up everything about yourself, you better be putting your best foot forward. So, posing in front of cars that aren't yours, it's a little off. Pretending that your relationship is peaches and cream when it's not. I would say don't do it, but we're all guilty of that. So, of course, people want to upkeep a good appearance. They want everything to look great from the outside because nobody wants you to think that their shit stinks, for lack of better wording.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I try to keep my appearance nice on the ground. I mean, you know, I'm not coming on there looking any type of way. You know, I hope I'm not giving catfish. But yeah, appearance is important. It's how you do it, though.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, don't do all the phony stuff.
Yeah.
Be you, and do it well.
What do you think about the appearance?
Yeah, I think we spoke briefly about this at the last podcast with like McClinton and Kelly about like advertising yourself and other stuff. Yeah, I think like you also mentioned too, social media provides like that sort of limitless networking opportunity, either for like relationship or for like securing a job or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also about like, you know, I think trying to be authentic self. And I think social media amplifies certain personality in you. Like if you're insecure, it's going to amplify your insecurity.
Most definitely.
Because if you're insecure, then you are like, oh my God, I got to post like a Benz car that I don't own. But if you're secured and like your personality is like, oh, I like to nerd about anime, you're probably just going to be posting a bunch of anime videos. But like, if again, just whatever your personality is, like, you know, you care about like media and other stuff, you're probably just gonna post your TikTok and your funny dance videos.
Oh, and y'all know I do. So we are being as real.
Exactly. So I think the gram it's just an amplifier, really. I think everything that we've gotten from the internet is an amplifier. So it's whoever is using it that determines the outcome of like your appearance and how your feed looks like and other stuff. So that's just my own take there.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that we actually spoke about like a day or two ago. But I'm gonna ask Madison. Would you rather be overconfident or insecure?
Oh yeah.
And why?
So this is something that I talk about often with my inner circle. I'm both. And I think everybody has a little bit of both, right? Definitely everyone has insecurities. There's not one person on earth lacking in insecurity, whether it's a lot or a little. I would rather be overly confident though, because one, who wants to feel insecure? Like that's a horrible feeling, whether it's in your profession or in your looks or in your mentality, whatever. Nobody wants to be insecure. Why would I want to be more confident? Because being confident feels good, like appearance-wise, right? Physicalities. When I look good, I feel great. I'm walking around with a different air about myself. If my hair is out of place, like I have this hat on my head, my silk press is no longer silk pressing, not feeling my best. You know, I'm okay. Today is great. I'm blessed. But if the silk press was really silk pressing, I would be doing even better. So feeling more confident is 10 times better than being insecure, because confidence exudes in your personality and the way that you handle your business and the way that you show up in your job and your relationships, friendships. It carries throughout. It's not just a physical thing. It is a mental thing as well. So more confident.
Do you think there's any downside to being more confident?
Maybe being a little vain. I know when I don't think people are aware when they're being vain sometimes, especially with social media. I'm quick to post a selfie when I'm feeling good, and maybe another selfie, and maybe a video selfie as well. So vanity is something that you got to balance it out. You can be confident, but being vain is going over. And I think that also has to do with my faith, because you're not supposed to be vain, right? And so for the average person that might not, you know, get their strength from their faith, being vain is just like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. Or I'm that nigga. But, you know, let's level it out a little bit. So, and then also, like, being overly confident, sometimes you can lack regard for other people and their feelings. And that's a whole other conversation. So, being confident is great, but there is a certain line. There's confident, and then there is cocky. And then there is vanity. So we want to stay right here. I'm confident. So everybody should be confident.
How do you know when you cross the lines?
Well, like I said, if I'm posting too many selfies, I've literally called myself out before. Like, I'm gonna stop being vain, y'all. Like, I look good, but like, I'm gonna stop being vain.
But to someone else, though, that's just normal routine.
I'm bad. I'm a bad chick. Yeah, that is a lot of people's normal routine.
Mm.
And I think that you can tell. We all know somebody that is a little too confident. We don't. I do.
I mean,
I do.
some people just want to, you know, when you get your haircut, you just want to show it off until it fades away, and then
Oh, that's what I did with this hair. And like I said, that's why this hat is on my head. So I showed it off.
That's valid. But you spoke a lot about like your fit and everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, how was your fit like shaped who you are and like your mentality and everything?
Yeah. So I'm a Christian. I'm proud to say that. Am I the strongest in my walk with the Lord? No. It's something that I'm working on every day. And even the strongest person in their faith should be working on that every day. It's a continuous race. You don't ever finish the race until you've gone on to be with the Lord, really. That was something that was introduced from conception. Like that, I grew up that way. It wasn't something that I necessarily adopted myself, but a lifestyle. Did I have to stick to that lifestyle? No, that was the choice. So I definitely think that my faith has shaped my decisions, because even when I apply for jobs, like my confidence in my abilities and the things that I have written on paper, like my resume, is one thing that I look to, but I always look to the Lord for the answers. So I had a feeling I was going to get that internship because of my faith in God. Like His mercy and the grace that He shows and the favor that He puts on my life is something that I care more about than any of the talents that I have myself. So, and even just the way that I move, not perfect. Nobody's perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But there are certain things that I just won't engage in, and certain situations that I refuse to put myself in because of my faith. Because I know, whether it's in the back of my head or the front of my head, I probably shouldn't be in that situation. I probably shouldn't go there. I probably shouldn't be with those people. So, yeah, pretty much it shapes everything. Like when I say everything, everything. And maybe if I were stronger in my walk, that would be a little more evident. So we're trying to get there. It is a continuous race. But yeah, every aspect.
So I have a question. No, this is not. It's not personal. It's just. She was about to say.
Right. Like, what are you?
Remember what we spoke about? Remember what we spoke about?
No, it's not personal. It's for everybody too.
Yeah.
So you know when people say we should be ourselves, right? Be our authentic selves. I always used to like be a fan of like, yeah, be yourself. But then I was like, who was I before that? Like, if I'm trying to be myself, then who am I?
Why would he ask that? That is a very thought-provoking, like, that's deep.
Do you guys know that TikTok when they ask a lot of questions and they are floating up?
Yeah.
It's one of those questions.
Yes, that's how I'm feeling right now.
Who am I? Who are you? Who are all you niggas?
No, I just every time I hear that, that's because I always think about it every single time.
Who were you before?
Yeah. So if I'm trying to be me, then who am I right now?
Go and read Genesis first.
Man, he's asking the right question.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
I think that what they mean is like, over time, of course you're yourself, right? You can't be anybody else but yourself.
Yeah. So who am I trying to be then?
I think what they mean is, over time, you're exposed to a bunch of different people, coming from different backgrounds, with different capabilities. And when you're around people that you like, or you like certain qualities about them, you want to kind of pick up those qualities, those tendencies. I think we all know some people, or some people that we like their qualities. We would like to pick up some of those qualities.
Yeah.
We also know people that have qualities that we probably wouldn't want to pick up. And so we pick up all these different like personality traits, and they may not necessarily be traits that are true to us, but we have them now. They're saying like, ditch all of that. Be who you are. That did not answer the question.
I think it was
Be
good.
who you are. Like,
But if I'm gonna take a stab at it, I think like no one is themselves, so to say. I think we're a collection of everybody
Yes.
and every situation we've been in.
Yes.
Like your childhood traumas, your childhood happiness,
Yeah.
your current situation, they all make who you are. So it's not like you're just one entity on your own. It's like you're
Yeah.
fragments of different part of you and different personalities.
Right.
But now I think your established values make you who you are.
Yes.
And I think that's also where like faith could come in play.
Yeah.
Because like I have struggled with, I'm the very like somewhat rebellious and also like curious sort of Christian, or like so to say. Because I'm like, okay, why are you telling me to do this and that? So like I've gone into like one of those rabbit hole of just like, fuck it. What if I don't want to believe like, you know, this God, or like even if I've expressed stuff like that, I still don't want to like, you know, believe, or I still don't want to like be sort of tied down to sort of
Yeah.
this and like fate, or so to say. So then I'm just kind of everywhere. But then I started to realize like all this stuff the Bible says, I'm gonna use that for context. The Bible says those are values and things that hold you down. Like no matter what you think you think you're a God this next day, or you feel like you're on top of everything. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna need something that holds you down.
That's true.
Be it like the Bible, the Quran, whatever your fit is, everybody needs something that holds them down. And I think that's what makes them themselves or who they are, because of their values or because of how they want people to be treated. Again, back to childhood stuff. So I think it's like an equation. So you equals to values times experience. That is you.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much an equation of
No, that
who you are.
makes
So
sense though. That makes sense.
Okay. So
was that a question?
He's still like,
it answers a
here you are.
question. No, it answers a part of the question, and I understand that part, right? But then that leads to more questions.
Yeah.
So your explanation was you pick up a lot of people's ideas, or now you need to ditch them.
And right, because they might not even be native to you. It's
Yeah.
just something that's stuck.
Yeah, it might not be native to you. I think you said your true self or something like that. But then what is that?
That's who you are when there are no cameras, no lights, nobody watching you, nobody listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's who that. I saw a post about that somewhere. Somebody made a video talking about that. Like when nobody's listening to you, when you're in your most raw form, when you're mad, when you're sad, when you experience all these different ranges of emotions, that's like when you're your true self. We all kind of turn ourselves up a little bit when there are people around, when somebody's listening, when there's something at stake. When you're going through it, that's who you really are. And that's when you sometimes have to give yourself a reality check, because when I'm mad and I'm cursing up a storm and I'm acting out of character, that's probably who I really am. I say, I'm such a sweet girl, I'm so nice. But then you're cussing out your friend, or you're cussing out your partner. That's who you really are.
So are you saying that if people are trying to be themselves, they might not actually be like what people want, like what people should value or something? So
Yes.
people's actual true self might not actually, because this is, if you I'm leading you to a trap, but I'm telling you.
You are.
Yeah, but if you say that, then the next serial killer could be like, this is my true self. The next rapist could be like,
No,
exactly.
no, we scratch that. Not in that case.
Okay, yeah,
Not in that case.
No, not in that case, because of that doesn't align with the theory you just came up with, or just because it goes against your moral compass. Which one is it?
Moral compass.
But now that would be to assume that we all share the same moral compass.
We don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think to your point though, and to your point about moral compass, there was this like article that was released, because you know in the US there's been a lot of like gun violence, anxiety, and depression, and a lot of it has been stemmed from the lack of moral compass or lack of something to believe in. Like a lot of people in our generation, they don't believe in anything. They just believe in themselves. And to your question of who are you, like if you believe in yourself, you yourself, you don't even know who you are. So it's kind of like there's a conflict. And I think when you have a society where like a society where like they believe in, you know, a certain faith, it doesn't even have to be like Christian, whatever it is.
Anything.
If you believe in something, the tendency for you to like sort of know yourself or sort of be confident in your like abilities, or be kind of be able to interact with like society as well, it's much better as opposed to somebody who doesn't believe in nothing. And that's when you have serial killers, and that's when you have rapists who think like, fuck it,
because their purpose doesn't come from something
exactly
higher. It stems from themselves.
Exactly.
And that's it. And so I think that for me, my belief in something greater than myself gives me confidence. It gives me that moral compass because I have something to follow.
True.
I have a very stringent set of rules. Actually. Do I follow all of them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when I get off track, right, and that moral compass is kind of going in the wrong direction, I know how to get back. There's something telling me, it's set in stone, like, hey, this is what you need to be doing. Okay, so now we can get back on track. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, the point of these, though, is not to have, like, an answer, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody knows.
It's thought provoking.
It's just so we think, right? So, now, before I give a response to what you just spoke about like the moral compass and beliefs, right? I'm gonna go to your answer where you said if somebody has like maybe morals from the Bible or something like that. So are you saying that being your true self converges at the point where like maybe you meet a religion that matches your true self, or are you saying being your true self, because if we all are part of somebody's experiences, what they understand about something, right? Being your true self would never actually happen if you say stripping it away, because you're always going to meet somebody. It's like, if with the way, okay, maybe this might just be the way I'm seeing it, right? So now I'm hearing, we all get born, let's say we're around 100 people, right? Take something from this 100 people, but to be your true self, you have to come out from this 100 people and then find out, filter what's good for you, what's not good for you, right? But you're still always going to meet the next 100 people and the next 100 people and the next 100 people.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Where is your true self then?
I think true self, again, is all comes down to, me personally, I think true self, it all comes down to your values.
I was just about to say, it's the values that
you always
align
evolve.
most with you.
Humans will always keep evolving.
Yeah.
But if you are strong-willed, so to say, your values will kind of always be the same, but your perspective might be different. Okay, like now, I might be like a very extroverted person when I'm in my 20s, but when I get to my 30s, 40, I might be introverted, but I'm still gonna be honest because that's one of my values, or I'm still gonna be loyal because that's one of my values. But my perspective, okay, I'm gonna be loyal to like this person or to my wife as opposed to like my friend, because my wife comes beyond my friend, because those people are new people are coming into like my circles and they're altering the whole chemistry of like who I am. And also, we should not forget that humans are very adaptable too. So you is not just like you're just one straight robot. You're not programmed to just be one straight robot. You are very adaptable. So you or yourself changes over time. Now it's up to you to kind of say, I want to be firm on this and that. And then over time you kind of make those sort of rules, and then well, like an AI.
Fair. Okay, so I'm gonna do the last response, like the what you spoke about, and then we can wrap it up, right? So now you say if people have certain beliefs, right, it will make the world a better place, right? Like if everybody believed in honesty, believed in loyalty, but we all know that's really not the case, and because we're all Christians on this table right now. I'm Christian, you're Christian, so we are all thinking, if we say people should have a belief, we're all thinking everybody's like, oh, turn the other cheek when somebody slaps you, right? But there's some people who genuinely believe if somebody slaps you, you should throw a bomb in their house. Like, and they're strong and they're firm on their belief. And that's their belief. So if our true self is tied down to our beliefs, not everybody's belief is our belief. And some people's belief is really you know when say like Boko Haram, so there's a terrorist group in Nigeria, it's called Boko Haram, right? Crazy. And they want to make everybody a specific religion because of their God said some, like that's the basis of the whole terrorist group, right? So now those are a bunch of people who have those certain beliefs. And they really believe, and they're going with guns and they're stealing children out of
don't see that
they don't see anything wrong with it. So the same way you see your belief as this is the right thing, like I shouldn't lie to my parents, that's the right thing to do. Somebody else is like, I should definitely lie to my parents. That is the right thing to do. So like the same way when why people argue is because they genuinely think
Yeah.
they're right.
Oh,
Two sides of the deal, like, yes.
that's a whole
Yes.
podcast in itself, if I'm being honest, because I can argue all day,
Exactly.
all night, and it's because I know I'm
You
right.
genuinely think you're right.
But are you?
Seriously think? Yes, I know.
You genuinely know you're
So-
right. So if we're arguing about something, I'm not coming with the fact that she might just be right, you know. I'm coming with I genuinely think I'm right too.
Hello.
So if we're all basing our beliefs, this is there are people who have outrageous
Yeah.
beliefs. Like if they tell you what they believe in, you're like,
Oh.
really? That's even a thing to believe in. Like, so that's where the problem comes, where it's like, true self. And I understand because most people have like the general moral compass of compassion, kindness, love.
There are a few stragglers that are like,
Like my true self though. If I tell you my true self is
y'all
put
are
up in the
gonna
gutter straight.
lock, y'all are locking me up. Like I'm going under the prison. So.
Exactly. Okay.
But I think it's just. I
I'm
think.
done now.
No, I think to your point,
Okay.
you make a good
done.
point though. But I think this is like a new problem for society. And the reason I say that is because like traditionally humans have always been in like this sort of tribes and communities and everything that there's no internet. I'm not seeing what's going on in the next country. I'm not seeing what's going on in the next backyard. So it's my own tribe of people that so your parents have to do this. This is what you believe in,
Yeah.
and it's like you're in this sort of confined sort of belief system, and everybody's in their own space.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, we get back to social media and like internet. You're seeing what everybody's doing, and I'm like, wait, you can kill somebody.
Yeah.
I have the urge to like kill somebody. Let me go to that own place, and then you go like this sort of conflicting sort of scenario. And I think that's where we are as a society right now. It's like there's so many like information from like belief system to what not to believe that humans we tend to kind of get confused, and it's easy to get lost. And to be honest, I think it's just something like I have no answer to it. I don't know if there's an answer to it. I think just something like over time, we're just gonna adapt to it. To be honest, because there's no way with all this information you're saying, you don't then question it. Like, because I've been in a phase where I'm like, nice. I have friends that are Muslim. I have friends that are Buddhist. I have friends that are Hindu. I have friends that are doing this and that. I have friends that are atheists, and that life is cool. And they don't follow this law. Why don't I go to that side? And then I'm just like in this sort of loop of confusion. But I think you have to go through this process of like curiosity and confusion, because I personally believe that's what even makes you stronger. Because like I'm not gonna say taste, but like I've been in that one shoe, and I know like, man, the grass is not green on that side. I'm gonna come back home. And it goes back to like the Bible story about like shepherd, prodigal son. Yeah, prodigal son. And I think that's always gonna be that should be in the hypothetical. That should be always be the scenario of like you always come back home, but not everybody comes back home. But like again, that's just life. You have like 8 billion people. Nobody's gonna be perfect. You can't have a utopia. You're not Kanye West.
People are going where they can find a community. So those
Yeah,
people
true.
that are like doing these really heinous things, thinking that that's okay,
It's
but
community.
they found a community.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
think that it ties it all together. That everybody wants to be a part of something
True.
that they
I
think
agree.
is greater than them.
I
So
agree.
when these people are doing these crazy things like shooting up places, bombing places, like
It's community.
there's a community of people that they're talking about.
Community.
She was looking for a community, I guess. It's not the community we're looking for,
Yeah.
but she was trying to get in where she could fit in. So
Yeah, I agree.
Imagine there's a serial killer club.
yeah,
I would be
there
surprised.
A
is.
serial killer
I would be
club.
There
surprised.
is, though.
I would be surprised.
Yo, my last victim, yo. Let me tell you about my last victim.
Yeah, and I hope we're not giving anyone
Please.
we do not endorse
We're
that.
not endorsing
But
it.
we know it probably exists. So
Yeah.
In our
yeah. Yeah. He said it. That's exactly what that is. Man, that.
all right, let's end it.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. You're so funny. But yeah, so Madison, tell us, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I'm a social media girly. Y'all can find me on Instagram, TikTok, not Facebook, not too much on Facebook. Instagram and TikTok. So my Instagram is Sprinter Sims, SPRINTERSIMS, and my TikTok is It's Sims, ITSSIMS. And then maybe y'all will see me on TV one day.
Definitely.
You
Yeah.
definitely will. So.
Yeah. been a great episode. We've gone,
Most
Yeah.
gone everywhere.
We went everywhere.
I don't know how we're gonna title this.
A little bit. Talk about a little bit of everything.
But yeah, it's been a great episode, and you can find me at DCamC, and you can find him on.
Olashibumi Olagbo. First and last name. Easy money.
Thank you.
Peace out.